Welcome to Motivation Monday, and this week we're discussing finances and how to get yours in order in under 5 minutes. In order to cover finances in a very fast and easy way, we're going to talk about QuickBooks Self-Employed. This is a program that a lot of people use to keep track of both their mileage and their finances all in one system that can be done through your phone or on your computer and then uploaded either to TurboTax or even sent directly to your accountant so they have the record keeping that they need. So let me go over a few of the different options, but the hardest thing that I find most people struggle with is actually accessing the right program. So when you actually type in QuickBooks Self-Employed, it takes you to what looks to be the correct link. It even has self-employed in the actual extension of the URL. But when you dive into it, it can get confusing. Now, even though if you press this buy now and save, that might take you to the right link, but down here it says Simple Start, which is the incorrect program to use. It'll have a lot of things that you don't need as a self-employed realtor with no employees. So please ignore this one. Next, instead, I would go back to the original page and go down to the second link or the QuickBooks Self-Employed link here. Either one will get you to the following page, which actually will allow you to download the correct one. They have a half-off version for I think about 3 months, depending on the programs or things that they're running at that point in time, and that'll allow you to get the correct version of Self-Employed, which limits all of the different things that you have to look at. But let's dive into the program real quick and just explore the main options that you have available. Your first option when you log in is to see your dashboard, which is a fabulous center to get just a snapshot of everything you need from your profit and loss, and you can change from personal to business if you need to, and then back to all. Your expenses, so if you're really trying to keep a hold on, hey, I need to limit my expenses, you can keep a track of it there. The accounts that are connected, whether that's business accounts, personal, bank accounts, credit cards, whatever you need to show. And then your mileage, which we talked about before, and seeing what your deduction is for the year so far. And then, of course, your estimated taxes through the end of the quarter or the end of the year. This is a fabulous little snapshot of just what's going on in your business, and I do recommend logging in at least once a week just to get a handle on the heartbeat of your business. It also connects directly to TurboTax, so if you're trying to import things in there to do your own taxes, it's a great program. And then you can also download them directly or email them directly to your accountant so they can process everything for you. Over here we have transactions as well, so everything that's incoming and outgoing you can see as a credit or a deduction. Green is credit, so you can set rules. So if it's a title company that you prefer, wink, wink, they're always considered income for your business, and you can actually mark them that way, versus expenses like if you always eat at a specific restaurant and you want to make sure that's somewhere you always take your clients, you can actually log that as a business expense on a regular basis and only make adjustments when it's not a business account. Next, of course, we have miles, which you can even go in here and change your vehicles. So if you have 2 different vehicles and you want to track miles by the vehicles, you can do that. You can go in here and mark them as business and personal. And when you're on your cell phone, it will actually track all of your trips. So as long as you're logged in, especially if you're about to go with a client for a long period of time or a lot of showings, make sure your self-employed app is logged in, and it's going to use the barometer in the system to automatically measure when you're taking trips. And then you can just go in and assign who you're going with, and then go in and assign if it's business or personal. So it's very easy to do. And of course, taxes. When you're wondering how much do I owe throughout the year, you've got it up here in the right hand corner, so it's automatically going to estimate based on your deductions and your income how much money you're going to need to pay out at the end of the quarter or the year. And you can also compare that year over year if you're using the system throughout your career in real estate. And then, of course, reports. This one is very handy at the end of the year. So if you do need that mileage log and you ever get audited, you have it physically written in. And whenever you're doing your mileage, I do recommend putting in the client's name that you're going with. That way, in the case of an audit, you have that extra piece of documentation to protect yourself. Again, I'm not an accountant, but that's just my common sense piece of advice. And of course, your profit and loss. Your profit and loss statements are huge. When I worked in franchising, this was one of the most important things to decide if a branch was profitable. So you need to be aware of what those statements are. So in just a very quick glance, you can actually see if you're having a successful year or not. So that's about it. There's a lot more to it, but it's easy to use. So if you've been intimidated by accounting software or have not been tracking your finances because it's a lot of work, this is something I recommend doing for an hour a week or 2 hours a month, just to go through and make sure everything's set up specifically, and you will be good to go. All right, go out there, get hold of your finances and track that mileage.